So, as long as I have a podcast topic, I'm good to go. If you think that just having a topic to land podcast interviews and be listened to and convert clients is enough, I'm afraid it's not. It's not doing its job. So, let's fix that. I'm Lyndsay Phillips. I'm the podcast repurposing queen and the creator of the Conversations That Convert. And I help expert turn podcast appearances into high converting content and client attraction tools without winging it or wasting the opportunity. So let's talk about this common myth. I have a podcast topic, I'm good to go. So maybe you've jotted down some ideas. Maybe AI gave you some snappy titles, but here's the truth. AI can spit out a clever phrase. There's no disputing that. But it doesn't reflect your expertise and it doesn't speak to your audience's real pain points. And often it's super catchy, but it can be really confusing. And its strategy is what turns a catchy title into client attracting conversations. Now, the most common issue is that topics are too vague or too broad or too basic, and they don't get you booked on the right shows. They don't hook listeners and they don't lead meaningful conversations. So here's the shift. Your topic is your billboard. It's your first impression to hosts and listeners. And so it needs to really stop the scroll, spark curiosity, and position you as an expert from the very beginning. And so a great topic, a Billboard-Ready topic, does three things. One, it entices the hosts so that they understand the value that you're bringing to the show. They can picture the interview. They feel confident that you're going to serve their community. And that's how you get booked, even on premium shows. Secondly, is it hooks the listener. Because when you think about the listener, right, they're on iTunes, they're on YouTube, wherever, and they're seeing different episodes, and it's the title that gets their attention. They're like, is that topic for me? Am I going to benefit from it? What am I going to get out of it? They're spending 15, 30, 45 minutes on that episode. They want to know that it's going to be worthwhile. The title, a Billboard-Ready topic, also signals your authority. It makes you sound like a pro and not a placeholder. It sets you apart and differentiates you. So I'll give you a quick story. So a number of years ago, I invested in a booking agency. They pitched me, but I wasn't getting booked. Super frustrating. Eventually, they said that my topic was vague, vanilla, not specific enough. I can't remember the exact phrases they used, but in other words, the hosts weren't seeing the value in the topic. And honestly, at the time, I think I was doing content marketing. And so I think my title was like, I don't know, the 411 of content marketing or how content marketing can grow your business. I'm sure half of the entrepreneurial population out there was delivering the same talk. So it didn't have me stand out. They weren't seeing the value. And so another thing that happened is because of that, when I was on a show and the episode did go live, the host then had a super bland title for the episode that went live. So, of course, it wasn't enticing listeners to dive into that episode and listen to it. And so, once I dialed that in, I started to get a lot more traction. And so, when your topic is Billboard ready, it works before you ever hit record. It gets you on better shows, it attracts the right podcasts and the right people, the right audience, and it makes your message stand out in a sea of sameness. Now, this is just one of the 5 shifts that can take you from crickets to clients. And so if you want the rest, I'll put the link below, but you can grab my free report. It's from crickets to clients, 5 shifts to make your podcast guesting actually work and get real results. So you can go to leverageyourpodcast.com/clients, or I will put the link below for you. And let's just make sure your next interview isn't just good, but it actually converts.